So, do you ever have those weeks that you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, whether in comments or in a crowd or while you're standing in line somewhere, you keep hearing the same kind of thoughts that are being talked about all around you? And this week, one of the thoughts I heard was, don't forget who you are. And I thought, okay, I'm going to break this down for a blog and for my newsletter because one of the things that I'm talking about this month a lot is how you discern um, the way you spend your energy. Like, who are the people that you're giving your energy to? And what do you need to discern about who you are in your own process, how you're evolving, and if you're with people who have the same values as you do and who are really working on trying to become deeper in connection with you? We all have lots and lots of people in our lives in different ways, but one of the things that I want to really look at with right now with you is, who are you in all of this, and how do you differentiate what's good for you and what's healthy for you, or what you have to work on in yourself so that you can feel like, there's my baseline, this is who I am, I've got it. Well, the first statement that I want to say about this is the idea of being true to yourself, true to yourself in everything that you're doing, and really touching into your own sense of integrity, not fear, because fear is just something that is a projected reality. It makes us actually act different than who we really are, what our real baseline is. But when we come from a place of love, kindness, understanding, empathy towards ourselves always first, then we might have a sense of discernment, because you can then see very clearly what is in your life that's of value and what's in your life that's causing you stress, conflict, fatigue, drain. And this is what I want to ponder with you a little bit more today. So let's take a second to figure out and get really grounded with the idea about, what do you value in relationships most? I mean, what is it that makes you stay connected to someone? And sometimes think about it in the most simplest ways, like, is that person spend time the way I like to spend time? And um, and are they someone that actually holds some of the things that are the most important to me? And are we in sync on that? Or is this just a transactional relationship where, I'm just doing this because I'm just hanging out with this person, I'm just doing this activity because that's one of the things I have to do. But I want to have you ask yourself the question, if you were going to think about what's your top three values and how you live your life: honesty, integrity, creativity, um, being kind, giving to others. Like, what are the main three values that you feel like really set your compass in the right direction? And let's expand a little bit from here. Sometimes there's a mirror reflection that you can do to also figure out what you value. And that is like, who do you surround yourself with that helps you get very clear about anything that's going on in your life that you're maybe, perplexed about. So I don't know about you, but I have a few people that in one paragraph, they can help me understand what might be confusing me. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't know myself, that I don't know who I really am, but sometimes things get very confusing. And so I remember back in the days when I was studying um, therapy and identity and perception, that one of the activities that the professor gave was to just ask your friends a bunch of questions about how they perceived you and what was the things that they noticed about you that were like strengths of yours and what were weaknesses of yours, and how did you act when you were nervous, and what were like the places that you shined. And that's kind of scary because you're like, what if people start saying some things that I can't handle? Like, I don't really know if I want to put those questions out to the world. Like, tell me who you think I am or what you like about me. But it's really interesting if you do that. You get a sense of like, there's definitely things that show up about each and every one of us that stands out, that's unique to us. And if you're wanting to figure out Don't forget who you are amidst a crowd of people, amidst a crisis, amidst a time where there's a lot of nerve-wracking things going on. And that could include anything from upset in the political state of the world, fires that are in California, to how people are responding to that, to how are you going to go on this date tonight, or how are you going to deal with an interaction with your kid that's gone poorly. So you have to really dig into yourself and how you are able to access parts of yourself that actually show up and are able to handle a lot of things. So what kind of qualities do you have in yourself that makes you be able to handle things in your life? And I want you to take a moment to really think about that, because that will be one of your cues on how to get to your core values and how to stay really connected to yourself, true to yourself. So take a minute to think about that. So this constant knowing of yourself helps you stay true to yourself. The constant checking in, the constant giving, the constant connection that you have to yourself and what keeps you steady and balanced is also a way to stay connected to yourself, to be true to yourself, to know what it is that you are, is getting really that sense of your mood swings, I guess you could say. And maybe you don't have any. And so that's something to note too. Where are you the stablest? What part of your identity shows up throughout the day? And how are you constantly practicing the power of connection with yourself so that wherever you go, there you are, and you can count on yourself wherever you are. So really staying connected to yourself also means really hearing your inner voice. What is it saying? This doesn't feel right. Yes, more of this. Oh, I'm so into that. This person makes me really happy. This person makes me feel really uncomfortable. I don't really want to sit next to this person any longer or have this conversation anymore. So that sense of that you can listen to yourself constantly is a way of, here you are. Don't forget who you are, because here you are. And there's a part of yourself that actually speaks to you and guides you throughout the day. And can you hear that voice? Are you connected enough to yourself that you know that? So, in essence, the core self is the part of you that exists and has always existed, no matter what's been going on. It's that very quiet voice deep within yourself that tells you how to be, who you are, what's important to you, what you value, what's right, what's wrong. It's that part. And then there's an external part of your core, which is how you adapt the core parts of yourself to be in reaction and in adjustment to the people and the world around you. So spend some time with that core self quality. Sort of have a little bit of a flashback of who you were when you were in your younger days, when you sort of started to experience different ways of being in the world. And you're like, oh, yeah, that there it is. It's not me in activity. It's not me in accomplishment. It's not me in expectations, but it is me in confidence and grounded and a knowing, a deep, deep knowing. And if you take a few minutes in your daily practice of connecting with yourself to be with that core part of yourself, the amount of strength and resiliency and connection, creativity that you can actually attach to within that part of yourself may be just a miraculous experience that you don't usually allow yourself to do. So think about that. And let's keep going with this journey of the core self and see where else we come to in terms of our thinking about that.